Oh my God. Welcome, everybody, to my channel, Angel Says Art. Nice to see you. I'm having an anxious day today. I'm feeling anxious, so I'm going to do some sound. Let's do it. Okay, that's good. Welcome to my video. What the hell is the artist way? If you're here, that means you've heard of it or seen it, probably trending on Instagram or TikTok. It's been around for a long time. It's a book, and I would call it like a self-help / healing book for artists of all kinds. But this video is not so much a how-to, a little bit, but I'm kind of breaking down like 2 or 3 or 4 main concepts that I found to be personally very helpful. I'm gonna take you on a journey and just kind of show you some things. All right. See you on the other side. Bye. Oh, I'm stuck. God dang it. Oh. This book, The Artist's Way, A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity by Julia Cameron. She writes in the beginning of the book in the introduction, while using, teaching, and sharing tools I have found, devised, defined, and been handed, I have seen blocks dissolved and lives transformed by the simple process of engaging the great creator in discovering and recovering our creative powers. In order to retrieve your creativity, you need to find it. I ask you to do this by an apparently pointless process I call the morning pages. You will do the pages daily through all of the weeks of the course and, I hope, much longer. I've been doing them for a decade now. I have students who have worked with them nearly that long and who would no more abandon them than breathing. I'm seriously trying to hang in there with the morning pages. It's not always easy. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Life gets away from you. At the same time, what happened? Okay, pause. Okay, somebody got hurt outside. I think we're good though. Honestly, I kind of just put them wherever I'm sitting in hopes that it entices me to do them. I could possibly set an alarm, but I don't know. I'm recording a video. It's that time of day. The point is, try to have them somewhere where you think you're going to see them and where you think it's going to entice you to sit down and write for even a couple of minutes. That was the point. Okay. We're going for transparency. You know, that's what we want. So I'm going to show you. Let's see. Okay. So I went from February 2nd, right there, to February 11th. Okay. And today is the 25th. So, yeah. So I'm familiar with journaling. Journaling is something that I've been doing for a long time, just in general for mental health, having nothing to do specifically with art. The morning pages has forced me to sit down and focus only on art because that is what it's all about. It is bringing forth the creative self through writing and jotting down all of the jumbled up thoughts that you have and just not thinking about what it sounds like, not thinking about what it looks like, just taking it and blurting it all out onto your morning pages. Can say that the morning pages has helped me be honest with myself about consistency and the lack of consistency, but it's also helped me talk about some of those deep-rooted issues of creativity. It's helped me face those negative voices that come to the surface when I'm trying to be successful in a certain area that has to do with my creativity, my art, or my art business. I even deal with, negative self-talk, imposter syndrome, and things of that sort in regards to YouTube. Creative affirmations is a section in the book that I really, really liked. It's about 20 different affirmations to say to yourself about creativity. I cut it up, as you can see, and then I posted it up on my magnetic board that I have right there at my vanity. So when I come out and I'm getting dressed and I'm putting on my jewelry and doing my skincare and picking out my outfit, it's right there. I literally see these affirmations every single day, at least at minimum twice a day, in the morning when I'm getting ready and at night in the evening when I'm getting ready to go to bed. I love a couple of them that really kind of moves me. And I think my creativity always leads me to truth and love. I love that because I do want my creativity, my art to lead me towards truth and love. But another one that I just absolutely love is my creativity leads me to forgiveness and self-forgiveness. Man, that hit hard for me. And that forgiveness can mean many things for many people. It could be forgiving those who didn't believe in you, those who didn't support you, and then forgiving yourself for not showing up for yourself, giving up on yourself, all those types of things. It's very powerful. And there's so many more. Yeah, it's kind of cringy doing affirmations sometimes, especially when you're not in the mood to do them and you just want to sulk and you just want to be, self-sabotaging, which we all do. I force myself to do these affirmations. It has helped. What we're doing is changing our line of thinking, and a lot of us really need that. We have either learned from our environment and those around us, family members, friends, and so on. We've learned behaviors and thought processes that told us that we weren't good enough, that we weren't deserving, that we weren't that great. Nobody was ever going to love our stuff. Maybe being an artist, musician, actor, singer was something that was looked down upon. It could be a cultural thing. There are many reasons why we down talk ourselves. The book is really good at helping you find the core of where these beliefs come from. And when we do that, then we can start to heal those beliefs, and then we can create a sense of safety. A lot of us may have literally felt unsafe in our childhoods. I know that I did. And it could be literally feeling unsafe or emotionally unsafe, physically unsafe, and so forth. We have to uncover where that comes from, and then we have to deal with it. We can't go around it, we can't go under it. We have to go through it, and we have to feel it. That's what makes this really hard. I know a lot of the times people say, why is it always about my childhood? Why can't I just move on? And the reality is, the basis of any healing is going to begin with going back to the beginning and finding out the core of these beliefs that we have, and the core of why we do and say the things that we do and how we treat ourselves. That's what makes this book so powerful. I think being creative is the fear of the unknown. So creating a sense of safety starts with, I don't know, creating a space where we're not living in fear all the time about our creativity. It was Pablo Picasso who said, every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once he grows up. We have to learn as artists to continue to honor that child within, that child who created without boundaries. It's tough to honor that child.
And sometimes it can be painful. But once you start doing it, it becomes easier. And it's absolutely necessary.
I'm editing videos right now. I was supposed to go on an art date with myself yesterday. And guess what? I didn't. Because I ended up doing household stuff, mom stuff, and all that. Doing the thing that the book tells you not to do. I did it. But then I ended up feeling like crap about it today. And then I took my son to the park to go play, and I just like put a chair under the sun, and then I got to work on some of my digital art, some contests and stuff that I'm going to be entering. And so I'm considering that an art date. I think Julia Cameron, the writer of The Artist's Way, would probably say, maybe that's not what she meant. She very clearly says, don't take people with you. I don't consider that taking somebody with me because my son was off playing with all these other kids and I was enjoying the sun. And so I'm counting that as an art date. I think I'm trying to convince myself. Whatever. Okay, that's it.
Artist date is supposed to be something fun and simple, and it's supposed to foster inside of you, your childlike qualities. I am struggling with taking the time to actually do it. I think I'm making it into more than it actually needs to be, and it's not supposed to be this difficult. So I'm cognizant that I'm doing that. And it's something that in this book, it's like number one on my list to focus on this and fix it. I realized that a good idea would be to go to the dollar store and spend $4 or $5 on buying just some random craft art stuff and see what you can make with it. Or
paint with your fingers. Go outside. Paint on the walls if that's what you need to do to, release some of that stuff that's inside. You could always paint back over it. Make a mess. Do those creative things that maybe you weren't allowed to do when you were a child. Things that stifled your creativity. Well, guess what? You're an adult now, and you can be the adult that you needed when you were a child. And you be the adult that helps that child foster their creativity.
I want to talk about this idea of what the book calls the shadow artist. And the book says, and I quote, too intimidated to become artists themselves, very often too low in self worth to even recognize that they have an artistic dream. These people become shadow artists instead. Artists themselves, but ignorant of their true identity. Shadow artists are to be found shadowing declared artists, unable to recognize that they themselves may possess the creativity they so admire. They often date or marry people who actively pursue an art career they themselves long for. I am moved by this because I think this was me for so much of my life. I found myself getting involved in things that were artistic, like I danced for a lot of years, but knowing that I wasn't like committed to dance for life. I hung around the theater kids, and I actually did musical theater in high school, and I was always doing something of the arts, and I was always keeping friends who were doing the arts and were dedicated and serious to it. But I never believed that I was good enough to be a visual artist, which was where my heart is and where my heart always was. There's a line that just reached out and just shook me to my core. And it says, trusting our creativity is a new behavior for many of us. A lot of us are living our creative lives in fear.
So here's to banishing fear and taking our creative selves back. This is not a small feat, and it is not for the weak. It is very brave to choose to do this radical act of self care.
Just like any self help book or anything, any answers that you might seek to make yourself or your life better, this isn't going to be easy at first. There are going to be shadow sides to this. It isn't always going to be all about the light. You're going to have to go within and pull out some things that you don't want to look at, some things that you don't want to see, and some things you don't want to face, and also some things that are extremely painful. A lot of people would refer to this as the shadow self. Doing shadow work is kind of trending right now. It's popular, but shadow work is important. It's important to look at the darkness within ourselves and also have it live in tandem with the light within ourselves. And then we will be in alignment. Give yourself grace. I say all that to say that I'm not endorsed by this author. I just believe in what this book is trying to do. And so I hope that you pick this book up and you try to work it through at your own pace. I have found it very helpful and painful and awesome and saddening and angering. You will go through the entire process. I hope that you all found this helpful. With that said, at the time that I am recording this voiceover, I have 101 subscribers, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Again, like I've always said, you guys are amazing, and the fact that there are 101 people who care enough to subscribe to my channel, listen to what I have to say, is super humbling, and I thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. Thanks for being here. Everybody be well. If you are here to the end, you are artsy fartsy, and I love that. And I will see you next time. Peace.